So when Yaakov met Rachel, it was at a well, which seems like quite a romantic place to meet people in biblical times. And there's a big rock, a stone on the well that takes several shepherds to lift. And Yaakov, when he sees Rachel, he does it all by himself. Like quite a heroic deed to do. And we're going to explore why he did that and what the meaning of that was. This is from an article by Pinchas Friedman. So, first the Psukim, he quotes the Psukim. V'yisa Yaakov raglav yelech arzu b'nei kedem. So Yaakov lifted his feet and he went to the land of the people of the east. V'yar v'hinei be'er basada, and he sees that there is a well in the field. V'hinei sham shloisha edrei tzoin rov tzmaleh, and there's 3 flocks of sheep lying down next to the well. Kimin aberahu yashka adarim, because from this well the flocks would drink. Va'evan gedol al pi aber, but there's a big rock on the mouth of this well. So all of the flocks gather together, and then together the shepherds pull the stone off the mouth of the well. And they feed and they give to drink their sheep. And then they put the stone back. That's what they usually do. So that's why there's these flocks waiting there all together. They're waiting until there's enough shepherds to together take this very heavy stone off the well so they can drink and then put the stone back. As Yaakov is there speaking to the shepherds, Rachel comes with her sheep, the sheep that belonged to her father because she was the shepherd. And so when Yaakov saw Rachel, the daughter of Lavan, the brother of his mother, and the sheep of Lavan, his mother's brother, so then Yaakov approaches and he lifts up the stone off the mouth of the well, single-handedly, and he gives to drink the sheep of Lavan, his mother's brother. So when does he do this? When he sees Rachel, his mother's brother's daughter, and he sees the sheep, his mother's brother's sheep. So he lifts the stone for her to drink. Okay. So if the Torah is telling us this, there must be something significant about it. As he quotes from the Ramban, this is a very famous statement of the Ramban, that he says in his commentary on Bereshis, I want to tell you a rule that you should keep in mind when you go through all the parashas of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, that every event that happened to the forefathers is a simon, is a foretaste for what's going to happen to the children. That the forefathers' lives was like a prototype for the Jewish people in all times. So in B'chol Aviskach, so this he's adding his comment. If that's true about all of the forefathers, what the Ramban says, so certainly Yaakov Avinu, who is the chosen, the greatest of the forefathers, the one that's the direct father of the Jewish people. The fact that Rachel, this event happened when Yaakov saw Rachel coming with the sheep, so then he went and took the stone off by himself, which Rashi says, Vayigash Yaakov v'yagel, that he came and he took it off, like somebody who removes a cork from the top of a bottle, just pops it off. To tell you how strong he was. That this stone that took several shepherds to move, he picked it up like the cork off the top of a bottle of wine. Just popped it off single-handedly. To tell you how strong he was. So, this seems a bit strange. Does it make sense that Yaakov Avinu should remove the stone from the well to make an impression, to impress Rachel? Look how strong I am. That's Lahavdil, in Greek mythology, that for Yaakov Avinu to be doing this to show his strength. But more than that, if what the Ramban says, Maisa Ova Simon Labanim, that everything the forefathers did is a lesson for us, what's the lesson we're supposed to take from this event? Yaakov removed the stone from the well, single-handedly. Just a fascinating also question is, we find in Tfilas Geshem, the Tfilah, a special prayer we say on Shmini Atzeres, a prayer for rain. It goes through all the forefathers and the tzaddikim of the Jewish people, and it says, in the merit of what they did, please bring us water. About Yaakov Avinu, what do we say? Remember the one who took his stick and he crossed the waters of the Yarden River. He united the heart. Yichad Levi united the heart and lifted the stone from the well of water. In his merit, don't hold back water from us. He crossed the Yarden with his stick. He lifted the stone off the well of water. So in his merit, don't prevent water from us. Don't hold back water from us. What schus is there? What merit is there that Yaakov Avinu took the stone off the well, so give us water? Okay, we understand that was a well of water. He took the stone off the well, so in his merit we should. But if you're describing the schus, the merit of Yaakov Avinu, his righteousness, that he removed the stone from the well, that's his righteousness. That in that merit we should have water. Also, what does the word say mean? Yichad leiv v'gol even mipim bermayim. He united the heart, and he removed the stone off the well of water. United the heart. Ezel yichad Yaakov kasher galas even bermayim. Which heart did he unite by moving a stone off the well? What's it to do with the heart? Yichad leiv. What does that mean? And we say this. It's in our nusach tefillah. It's what we say on Shmini Atzeres. What does it actually mean? So, to explain this, we need to go deeper into the whole story. So, the next section there at the bottom. We can explain this by something that Yaakov said to Lavan later in the story. What did he say? That Yaakov, and when he wants to leave Lavan, he says that the small amount of flocks that you had before I came, they've increased massively because Hashem has blessed you because of me. That Hashem has given you love, and so after I was looking after your sheep, they've multiplied hugely. The Medrash explains, Kama ma'at hayutzoin Lavan lifnei sheba Yaakov. How few were the sheep of Lavan before Yaakov came? It says ma'at, shivim nafesh. There were 70. He had 70 sheep. Why? Because it says here that he had few sheep. And it says in the Torah that there were few who went down to Egypt. Yaakov's family were few in number. Ma'at. So just like them, a ma'at, a few means 70 souls, went down to Egypt. B'shivim nafesh. Afkan shivim. So to here there were 70 sheep. He had 70 sheep. Okay. Then the Medrash explains, continues, Al Pasuk, it says then that, and Yaakov the man expanded, multiplied many, very, very. How many sheep did he have in the end? He had 600,000. And the Yefet one of the commentators on the Medrash says that it's also Gzerah Shava. Just like Ma'at taught us that it was 70, just like those 70 nefesh were called Ma'at, so to the 70 sheep. So to here, it says Ma'od, he greatly expanded. But Ma'od is also used as an expression of the Jewish people multiplying b'Ma'od. The Yatzmu, they became very, very big in Egypt. So just like there was 600,000 when they left Egypt, so to here 600,000 sheep. So they started with 70, just like the Israelites going down to Egypt did, and they left with 600,000, so too the sheep of 600,000. L'chora yifla ma'od, eze kasha yesh ben misbar nefosha sheyadu mitzrayim, b'shivim nafesh, b'yisrabu ad shishim ribu, l'misbar etzoin shal lavan shal yitchila shivim, ad shenisrabu l'shishim ribu edr etzoin. What's the connection between the 70 souls that went down to Egypt and 600,000 left, and the 70 sheep that Lavan had originally to the 600,000 when Yaakov was leaving? Why those numbers are not just coincidental? It's not just the Gzeira Shava, like it must be significant. So there's a commentary on the Medrash called Nezer HaKodesh, written by Makubal, Rabbi Yechiel Michal Megloina. Based on what the Kabbalists said about these sheep of Yaakov. The fact that Yaakov became a Royat Tzoin, a shepherd by Lavan, it's because the souls that were blemished through the sin of Adam when he ate from the Eitz Hadas were reincarnated in these sheep. And so Yaakov Avinu came because he was the soul of Adam Rishon, and he tried to correct these souls until they would disgalgal again in Mitzrayim in Bnei Yisrael. Here's the Nezer HaKodesh in the bold there. This is why we find that Yaakov came up with all different strategies and plans. That he had the whole story we read later on in the parsha with the sticks that were speckled, and he was able to extract all of these various sheep from Lavan's flock to become his, to draw towards him the power of these sheep. He wasn't just gathering money, God forbid. The tzaddik Yaakov Avinu was not just looking to have a lot of sheep so he could own a lot of sheep. What he was trying to do by taking possession of Lavan's sheep, doing all these tricks to maximize and multiply the sheep that would become his, what he was doing was he was trying to draw these sheep under the power of Kedusha, of holiness. And from there, the sheep that came under holiness were then reincarnated in human form. And on that, Yecheskel the prophet said about the Jewish people who were in Egypt, "You are my sheep, the sheep of my flock. Adam atem, you are man. You are sheep. You're the sheep of my flock. You're man." Meaning, now you're human. The souls of the sheep, they were reincarnations of portions of Adam Harishon's soul that had sinned in the Chet Eitz Hadas. They were in sheep form, belonging to Lavan. Yaakov captured them, took them into Kedusha, and then they were reincarnated in human form in Egypt. So now we make sense of what the Medrash said of the number of the sheep. Just like Yaakov and his children, when they went down to Egypt, there were 70 of them, and when they came out, there were 600,000. So too, the souls of in the sheep were originally 70, and then they ended up 600,000 because these sheep were the souls that ended up the Bnei Yisrael in Mitzrayim. It's the same souls. So 70 to 600,000. Ad kan teichet dvara. That's the Nezer HaKodesh. And we find it interestingly in Kedushas Levi of Reb Levi Yitzchak Berditchev. He also says that when it says that Yaakov Avinu met Rachel at the well, it says that Rachel came with the sheep. And Yaakov Avinu saw Rachel, and he saw the sheep. Which is a bit of a funny juxtaposition. He saw Rachel, the woman who he wants to marry, and he saw the sheep. And this is what set him in motion to move the stone. Rachel and the sheep, like on par almost. Like he saw the Rachel and he saw the sheep. Isn't that a bit of a different discussion? He saw Rachel, that's a person who he wants to marry, and he saw sheep. I mean, yeah, fine, but like Rachel and the sheep. Because when Yaakov saw the sheep, he looked at the sheep and said, these are the Nishmas Yisrael, these are the souls of the Yidden that I have to save. So, yeah. Okay, so we're going to hear more about this. Venira. This is a source for an interesting idea brought in a sefer called Chakal Yitzchak. Chakal Yitzchak is from the Spinker Rebbe. The Neshamas Der Hamabel Va'Flag Avanshe Stom Nisgalgul B'Tzein Lavan. It says in the Holy Sfarim that the souls of the Der Hamabel, the generation of the flood, and the generation of the Haflaga, the tower, and Anshe Sdom, the people of Sdom, were all Nisgalgul, they were reincarnated in the sheep of Lavan. Before we said Adam, right? Now we're saying that the souls of the Mabel, the Haflaga, and Sdom. Vavinu Zaken Asa Behem Tikun Shevim Begilgul Adam Nisgalgul B'Deiros Shahayu B'Golos Mitzrayim. And our forefather Yaakov made a big tikkun correction for these souls to bring them from their sheep form into human form in Mitzrayim. He achieved that these souls should become the Bnei Yisrael. And that's why Yaakov Avinu and his children were all shepherds, because they saw in these sheep the souls that needed correction from the Der Hamabel, Der Haflaga, and Anshe Sdom, and so they became the shepherds to draw them into Kedusha, drew those souls into human form into the Bnei Yisrael. So says the Chakal Yitzchak. So, what does that mean? It seems that what the Chakal Yitzchak here is saying is a combination of the Nezer Kodesh we just saw, who said that the souls were from Adam Rishon, and what the Arizal says in Shara Psukim, Ki neshamas Yisrael shenifku b'chet eitzadas nisgalgul b'tchila b'dor hamabel v'achkach b'dor haflaga v'anshe sdom ad shenisgalgul b'mitzrayim v'niskunu sham. That the souls of Yisrael, the Jewish souls that were originally in Adam Rishon, were blemished in Chet Eitzadas. They were nisgalgul, says the Arizal, in Der Hamabel, Der Haflaga, and Anshe Sdom. And then eventually in Nisgalgul Mitzrayim v'niskunu sham. Eventually the Arizal says they ended up in Mitzrayim and they got their correction there. As we saw previously a few weeks ago, that the Der Hamabel souls, so therefore they were thrown into the river, and the Der Haflaga, so they were building in Mitzrayim. That there was a correction for the mistakes they did in the previous Gilgulim. So the Arizal says Der Hamabel, that from Adam Rishon they went to Der Haflaga, Der Hamabel, Der Haflaga, Anshe Sdom, and then to Mitzrayim. But we learned from the Nezer Kodesh that in between they were in the form of the Tzayin Lavan, the sheep of Lavan. So combining the two ideas, we see that the sheep was like the middle stage of these souls. With this we understand what amazing words there are in this Sefer Chakal Yitzchak that explains the words of Yaakov to Lavan. That Yaakov, this is after Yaakov left Lavan's house and he took his family and the sheep with him. And then Lavan chased him. So it says Yaakov got furious at Lavan. And he said to Lavan, "Ma pishi ma chatasi? What's my sin? What have I done wrong? Ki dolakta achrei, that you've run after me. Ki meshashta es kol kelei ma matzasa mikol kelei. And now you've touched all of my belongings. What did you find of yours? We know that Rachel stole the Tropim, some idol of Lavan, and he was looking for it, but he didn't find it. And so Yaakov is furious and says, "What have I done wrong? You've touched all of my belongings now. What did you find?" Well, that's a very angry response from Yaakov. Okay, he didn't know that Rachel stole the Tropim, but still, what did Lavan do? He said, "You've stolen something." He came and checked. He looked through all his belongings, didn't find it. And now Yaakov gets all angry. "You've touched all my things. Stop touching my things." Well, yeah, what's he so upset about? But there's something big going on here. Because if Yaakov Avinu is fixing these sheep, the souls in the sheep, why do they need to continue and go down to Mitzrayim into slavery? If he's bringing them under Kedusha, bringing a tikkun for these neshamas, so that should finish it. So the neshamas from Adam Rishon and from their Mabul, their Raflaga, Anshe Sodom, they ended up in Soin Lavan. But now Yaakov has brought them under Kedusha. Why didn't that end the story? Why did it continue that they had to go down into Mitzrayim, into slavery? So the Chakal Yitzchak explains, fascinating. It's known that a tzaddik, by touching something with his hands, can bring kedusha and refuah to the thing, can bring holiness and healing, the power of healing by touching. If a tzaddik touches something, so then it has a level of kedusha and refuah. Like Naaman says about Elisha, that he put his hand on a place and the tsaras went away. He was able to heal tsaras. Elisha was able to heal tsaras just by touching. So it says in the book of Malachim. So if that's true of tzaddikim, we know that everything in holiness has an equal and opposite power in unholiness. So therefore, when a rasha and an impure person touches something, so they're able to bring destruction and impurity to that thing. So this is why Yaakov says to Lavan, when Lavan is coming and accusing that my idol has been taken away, so Yaakov says to him, have a look and see if there's anything of yours and take it. Have a look. Just look with your eyes and see what's yours and take what's yours. But he was saying, don't touch anything that's mine, because I don't want you, Lavan, with your tumah touching my possessions. But Lavan did not listen to that. As it says in the pasuk, "Yimashish Lavan es kol ha'oil v'lo matzah." That it says Lavan handled everything in the tent. He put his hands on everything and didn't find the trophy. And because Lavan went through and touched all the sheep of Yaakov, he went. It says kol asher, it's kol ha'oil. He went through everything. So he brought about kilkul shlo yilem tikun rak achrish nisgalgal b'galus Mitzrayim, that only after galus Mitzrayim will they have a tikkun. So in other words, this whole thing of Yaakov running away, taking the sheep away, he was almost out, he's almost there, he's almost done with the tikkun, and Lavan comes chasing after. And why, you've stolen something, I've got to check. And he has to check everything. He says, okay, look and see what's yours. But he doesn't look, he touches everything. And he brings tum and kilkul to the entire Tzayin Lavan. And now they have to go into Golus. Now we understand why Yaakov was so angry at Lavan. What did I do wrong that you chased after me? You have to touch everything of mine. Why did you touch all my things with your hands? Now you've caused damage to the souls of the sheep that they're going to have to be reincarnated now and go into Golus Mitzrayim. Zel Pirush HaPasuk. This also explains the pasuk in Kisavai, which we quote in the Haggadah, which has always been a bit of a mystery. Arami Ovid Avi v'Yered Mitzrayim. That Arami, an Aramaean, which was Lavan, tried to destroy my father, v'Yered Mitzrayim, and he had to go down to Egypt. Ki al yidei mishashta Yadav. Meshashas Yadav, Garam Oivdon Yaakov Yistarchu Neshamas Yisrael is Galgal b'Mitzrayim, because of the touching of his hands, because he came to touch everything and brought Tameh. That's why we had to go down to Mitzrayim. Yaakov was trying to avoid the whole Golus Mitzrayim thing, but Lavan snuck in at the last minute, chased him, and touched everything, and then caused it. So Aram Ovid Avi, they're the wondrous words of the Chakal Yitzchak of the Spinka.
So like kind of Rachel did same mistake as Chava did, kind of, not directly, but indirectly, causing all this to happen.
I don't know. She was trying to make a tikkun of Lavan as well. She was trying to correct him by taking away his trafim, trying to elevate him. But okay. So the next little section. Now we can understand a little bit more the psukim back at the well when Yaakov first met Rachel and the sheep. As he's still speaking to the shepherds, Rachel comes with the sheep. With the holy sheep of the Neshamas Yisrael. Asher Avia that belonged to her father. B'nei kel chai shel Avia Shoshamayim. It says that the tzoin Aviha doesn't here mean Lavan, it means the Father in heaven. The holy sheep that belong to the Father in heaven. And it says, so why has Rachel got these sheep? Because she was a shepherdess. Because Rachel, who's Rachel? Rachel is the one who cares for the sheep to daven for them in all their pain. Like it says in Yirmiyah, Kol Brahma Nishma Rachel Mavakal Beneha, that there's the sound of Rachel's voice crying for her children. So she was looking after these sheep because she knew that these were the sheep of the Neshamas Yisrael that she has to take care of. So when Yaakov sees Rachel, the daughter of Lavan, the brother of his mother, and the sheep of Lavan, the brother of his mother, and Yaakov saw with Ruach HaKodesh that these sheep were the sheep with the Jewish souls stuck in them. So then Yaakov came and took the stone off the well. Why? Rashi explains, like somebody who pops a cork off a bottle of wine to show how strong he is, to show you how strong he is. Yaakov was not trying to impress Rachel how strong he is. What he was telling her was, this is our mission, that there's a holy mission that we have that Hashem has put on our shoulders. To take the trapped souls out of their captivity. To take out the souls that are stuck in the sheep of Lavan. That's what Rashi is hinting at. Somebody who pops the cork off the top of a bottle. The metaphor here is, you have old good wine that is closed inside a bottle. You want to drink the wine, first you have to remove the cork that is sealing it on top. So too Yaakov is hinting here to Rachel that our mission, our job here is to take the lid, the cork off the bottle. In order to free the souls of the Jewish people that are stuck in the sheep of Lavan, So removing the cork is, we have to free them. We have to liberate the souls that are stuck inside these sheep. And he started crying. Are we going to be successful in doing this? Are we going to be able to extract these souls that are stuck in Tumah, in Lavan's possession? That's why he started crying. So the popping of the cork, meaning taking the rock off the well, was a symbolic act as well, representing the opening up and freeing of the souls that were stuck in Tzoin Lavan. That's why it says when he saw Rachel and he saw the Tzoin, that's when he popped off the stone. Okay. But now we can take it to another level, a deeper level. With this, we can explain what is the lesson to us. How do we apply this removing of the stone? Why do we need to know about this? In B'derech Avoda, Ma'aseh Niskav Shel Yaakov Avinu B'Goylu Esa Even Al Pi Haber. What's the Avoda part of this? Al Pi Masha Matzina B'Medrash. It says in the Medrash, Ki Even Zu Shahaisa Al Pi Haber, He Remez L'Yetzer Hara, Shnikra Even. There's the Medrash says that the stone represents the Yetzer Hara, because the Yetzer Hara is called the Even, which blocks the Jewish people from drinking the water of Torah. Listen to the Medrash. He saw that there was a well in the field. Zeh Beis HaKnesses. A well in the field is referring to a shul. And there's 3 flocks of sheep. These are the 3 people called up to the Torah when we read the Torah in the weekdays. Because it says they would drink from the well. You go to shul to hear the Torah, the wisdom of Torah, to learn Torah. But there's a big stone on top of the well. That's the Yetzer Hara. That blocks us from hearing the words of Torah, from being inspired by the Torah. So all of the flocks gather together there at the well. That's talking about the tzibur, the community. The community gets together in shul. And together what they do is, when there's a community, we take the stone off the well all together with a communal effort, and then we can hear the Torah. When everyone's together in shul, we together get rid of the Yetzer Hara and listen to the words of Torah. The power of Torah b'tzibur. And they put back the stone afterwards. That when you leave shul, the Yetzer Hara goes back to where it was. You put the stone back. I think what it means is the Yetzer Hara doesn't go away. It comes back and you have to fight it again and again and again. But the community together has the power to lift the stone. When everyone's together, then we can lift the stone. When you're by yourself, there's always excuses. The Yetzer Hara is very strong. When you're together, yeah, then it's easier to fight the Yetzer Hara. Okay. So Nimtein l'meidem ezeh, ki Yaakov Avinu shegalas Even al pi habe'er, nischaven l'salik bekach es ha-Yetzer Hara me'be'er shel Torah. So now we've got a different view, different understanding of the symbolism of Yaakov Avinu coming and removing the stone from the well. The well is the well of Torah, and the stone is the Yetzer Hara that's blocking that's stopping us from learning. We can base this on an idea that's said in the Zohar of this week's parasha. We know that it says that there are on 3 things the world stands. There are 3 pillars that hold up the world: Torah learning; Avodah, which is the avodah of the Beis Hamikdash or davening; and Gemilas Chasadim, acts of kindness. Right? Torah is Torah learning. Avodah means the Karbanis or davening, which takes the place of Karbanis. And Gemilas Chasadim, acts of kindness. Says the Zohar, Torah da Yaakov, Torah is Yaakov, Avodah da Yitzchak, Avodah is Yitzchak, and Gemilas Chasadim da Avraham. Why so? Why does that fit? Torah is Yaakov. Why? because we know that Yaakov was Ish Tam Yoshev Ohalim. He was a straight person who sat in the tents of Torah. He learned the Torah. And Avodah is Yitzchak. Why? Because he was the Akedah. He was like a carbon. And Gemilas Chasadim is of course Avraham, who was the one who did kindness. Mavum Rizeki Yaakov Inu hu Omer Torah. Kakasav Yaakov Ish Tam Yoshev Ohalim. So Yaakov is the pillar of Torah, the one who sits in the tent learning Torah. Pirush Rashi, Allah shel Shem v'Allah shel Aver. The tents that he sat in were the tents of Shem and the tents of Aver, which were the Torah teachers of that time. Where did they have Torah from? That Shem was the son of Noach, and Noach had received teachings from his great-grandfather Chanoich, Mr. Shalach, all the way back to Adam. There were teachings of wisdom teachings that were handed down that they had. And then Aver was the grandson of Shem as well. They taught the wisdom of the time. That was Torah of the time. So this is where Yaakov spent his time learning Torah. Even when he had to run away to Haran because Esav was going to kill him. He spent 14 years in the base medrash of Aver learning Torah. So in between him running away from Esav and coming to Haran, there were 14 years. He was learning the whole time.
But what was to learn 14 years?
Divine wisdom that never ends. There's no end.
He didn't sleep at all. 14
Yeah.
years.
Kakasav, as it says, v'yishka b'makamahu, as it says that he slept in that place when he reached Beis Kel, which was the Makam HaMikdash. It says he slept in that place. Pirush Rashi says, ba'osu makam shachav. That place he lay down. But for 14 years that he was serving in the house of Aver, meaning he was learning Torah, he didn't lie down at night, he was learning Torah. Doesn't mean he didn't sleep for 14 years. A person can't do that. He didn't lie down. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's
Slept on the benches.
yeah, they say about the Satmar of Rabbi Yoel Teitelbaum that he never went to bed. He would learn and he would fall asleep on the sefer. He actually had problems with his legs because he never put his feet up. Mm-hmm. And I have a friend actually who his father is a well-known Rav, and he once went to Switzerland to a hotel for a holiday, and he noticed in the hotel that every morning the maid would go around making the rooms, but didn't make his bed. Cleaned up the room, but didn't make his bed. Didn't come to his room at all. They skipped his room. This maid was going from room to room, but didn't come to his room. And so he went to the reception and asked, "Sorry, the maid's not coming to our room to make the bed. What's going on?" And the reception said, "Oh, sorry, sir, we thought you were a rabbi." And he said, "I am. Well, what's that to do with it?" So they said, "Well, every year, the Satmar Rav would come to this hotel, and we used to go. His bed was never made, like it never needed to be made because it was never rustled, no. So we thought rabbis don't use beds. And this is when he was on holidays. So it says v'lo shachav, that he didn't lie down. He didn't go to bed. Doesn't mean he didn't sleep. He didn't go to bed for 14 years. So that's what Yaakov is. Yaakov is the Amida Torah. He's the one who learns Torah day and night. In the Gemara, it says in the Gemara Kedushin, Kach HaKadosh Baruch Hu Amalem Yisrael, Hashem says to the Jewish people, Banai barasi Yetzer Hara barasi lo Torah tavlin. My children, I've created the Yetzer Hara to challenge you, but I've created the Torah as the antidote to the Yetzer Hara. If you are busy in learning Torah, then you won't be given into the hands of the Yetzer Hara. When does the Yetzer Hara have control over us? When we're lazy, lax in our Torah learning, so then Yetzer Hara has power over us. We can only conquer the Yetzer Hara with the power of Torah learning. So now we understand how is it that Yaakov Avinu can wander over to this massive stone that takes a bunch of shepherds to remove, and he just pops it off like popping a cork off the top of a bottle. How does he have such power, such strength? Because he's the pillar of Torah, who learns Torah day and night. He is able to pop off this stone, which represents the Yetzer Hara, blocking the well of Torah. He can pop it off because he is full of Torah. He's got the power of Torah to do that. So that's why he had this strength. It wasn't physical strength, it was the strength of Torah.
And he got the blessing from Hashem just before coming to Hara.
Correct. So, the next section. So now I can explain what is this powerful act he did. That he popped off the stone off the well. Because we said that in the sheep that were watching this act of Yaakov popping the stone off, the sheep had the souls of the Jewish people, who they were the souls that were stuck in Adam Rishon when he did the sin, B'dur HaMabul, and then they were reincarnated in the generation of the flood, B'dur HaFlaga, in the generation of the building of the tower, Ubisdoim, and also in Sdoim. The reason why these souls kept falling and going and down is because they didn't have the power of Torah to fight the Yetzer Hara. Torah they didn't have. Okay, but it wasn't given to them. It's not their fault. But the word, the 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach was given already to Adam Rishon. There was Torah already in existence from the beginning. The Gemara in Sanhedrin says that the 7 mitzvahs were given to Adam Rishon. They're called b'nei Noach because the 7th one was given to the Eivir Min HaChai was given to Noach. So the completeness of all 7 was only given to Noach, but the first 6 were all given to Adam already. And so if they would have been busy learning the laws of those 7 mitzvahs, then they would not have been given over to the Yetzer Hara. And by the way, if you think that the laws of the 7 mitzvahs, okay, how much could there be? Then there's heaps. All you need to do is have a look in Encyclopedia Talmudis, the Talmudic Encyclopedia, and B'nai Noach, and it has pages and pages of Pilpulim and all different Makoros and sources on just the 7 mitzvahs. You could spend a lot of time learning the Torah of the 7 mitzvahs. So,
14 years?
Yeah, 2 years each. So, Lefiza yesh loimer ki Yaakov Avinu shorish neshamas Yisrael sha'al shmoi anu nikrem Yisrael. So, based on this, we can say that Yaakov Avinu, the source of all the Jewish souls, and we're called by his name Yisrael. B'nai Yisrael is because he was Yisrael. Bikush l'saken oisen and neshamas shekvar nichshlu b'chetum ha'adricham b'derech ha'tov v'yishara. He wanted to direct these souls in the way that they should go in a path of goodness. Eich this Gabriel Yetzer Hara, and to conquer the Yetzer Hara. How are they going to conquer Yetzer Hara? Al kain ramaz lahem ki achresh yotzu Mitzrayim v'yizku lekablas Torah. So he hinted at them, after you go to Mitzrayim, you leave Mitzrayim, you'll receive the Torah. Ha'etza yechid is Gabriel Yetzer Hara yirakay de esek Torah. The only way to conquer the Yetzer Hara is through learning Torah. Torah learning is the way to conquer the Yetzer Hara. In Kichen zeh pirush hakosov. So now let's look at the pasuk. It makes sense. That when Yaakov saw Rachel, the son of Lavan, the brother of his mother, and the sheep of Lavan, the brother of his mother, and he knew with his Ruach HaKodesh that these sheep have in them the souls of the Jewish people that previously had been in Adam Rishon when he did the sin of the Eitz Das. The Yigash Yaakov, so Yaakov approached Amad Torah. Who is Yaakov? Yaakov, who is the pillar of Torah. And he took off the stone from the mouth of the well. That he rolled with the power of his Torah, the Torah power that he had. He was able to take the Evan, the stone, which is the Yetzer Hara, off the mouth of the well, which is the wells of Torah, the waters of Torah. Because he's showing the Tzoin Lavan, the souls that you don't want to be stuck in this state anymore. You'll conquer the Yetzer Hara only through the power of Torah. So then the pasuk continues, Vayishak es Tzoin Lavan, Vayashka Tzoin Lavan, Achi Ima. He gave to drink the sheep of Lavan, his mother's brother. Yaakov Avinu hishka v'hiruva tzimoinam shel neshama Yisrael. He quenched the thirst of the Jewish souls with the well of Torah, of the living waters of Torah. Because that's how he was able to take away the stone, which is the Yetzer Hara. This is to open the path for the entire Jewish people in the future. To give them the power. Anytime a Yid sits and learns Torah, we arouse the power of Yaakov Avinu, who is the pillar of Torah. And that can push away the Yetzer Hara, like popping off the cork off the top of a bottle. We can conquer the Yetzer Hara through the power of Torah. So with all this, we can understand. Rashi, Yaakov Yagel, if you look carefully at the words of Rashi, he says like somebody who pops the cork off the top of the bottle, to tell you, to show you that you should know how great his strength is. Rashi didn't say he did this to show Rachel how strong he is. To show you. Who's you? Me. You, me. Rashi is saying to you who's reading Rashi, every single one of us should know. He's speaking directly to second person. You should know that with this very powerful act of pushing off the stone, because Yaakov is trying to tell you how powerful his power of Torah is. That his power, because he's the pillar of Torah, is greatly powerful and awesome. To tell you that the only way you're going to beat the Yetzer Hara is through the power of Torah. So it's to let you know. He was talking to you because you, me, we, our souls were there in the Tzon Lavan. It's our souls that were there, the Neshamas Yisrael. And so Yaakov was displaying to us, you need to remove the stone of the Yetzer Hara through Yaakov, the koach of Torah. With this we can understand the words of the poet who wrote the Tefillas Geshem. In the merit of Schus, in the merit of Yaakov Avinu, Yichad Lev Gal Evan Mipiber Mayim, that he united the heart and he removed the stone from the water well. Because it says very clearly in the second parasha of Shema, if you fulfill the mitzvahs of Hashem, if you fulfill the mitzvahs, I'll give you the rains in the right time. And if you don't, God forbid, fulfill the mitzvahs, then Hashem closes the heavens and there's no rain. So we need rain. We're praying for rain, Tefillas Geshem. The Torah tells us clearly, when you do mitzvahs, the rain comes, and when you don't, it doesn't. Torah nikras lev. Now the Torah is referred to as the heart, lev. Why? Kisiyam Torah hiba is lamed shel le'ene kol Yisrael. Haschalas Torah hiba is beis shel bereishis shem ois lev. Because the last letter in the Torah is le'ene kol Yisrael, lamed. The first letter in the Torah is bereishis, beis, which together spell lev. Alken hizkar paiton schuso shel Yaakov Avinu. So therefore, the poet here mentions the schus of Yaakov Avinu, yichad lev. He united the heart. Shenis yachad im Torah shenikras lev. He became one with Torah, which is lev. Yichad lev. He became one with lev, with Torah. U'b'koich Torah v'gal evan, and with that power, the power of Torah, he was able to move the stone off. Hu hayetzer hara, which is the Yetzer Hara, mepi ber mayim, from the well of water. Basol b'kach derech l'chol neshamas Yisrael she'b'tzoin lavan, and he opened the path for all Jewish souls who were in these sheep of Lavan. L'salik is yitzum hara b'koich Torah, that they'll also be able to conquer their Yetzer Hara, the stone over the water, with the power of Torah. So therefore, in the merit of this amazing act of Yaakov Avinu, we daven to Hashem, in His merit, do not hold back the water from us. So that's the schus of Yaakov Avinu. Now, just to add a little cute idea, look in the box at the top of the page. Hagana Kodesh Baruch Hakal Yitzchak Bespinka Zatzal B'Parshasenu, maybe b'Shem HaMukabalim Ki Neshamas Yisrael HaMegugalas B'Tzoyin Lava. We just learned earlier that the Hakal Yitzchak of Spinka said that the Neshamas of the Jewish people were reincarnated in the form of the Lavan, the Tzoyin Lavan. They were there originally. V'Mosef Al Kach B'Shem HaMagid Kodesh Mikoshnitz. He also adds a quote from the Koshnitz HaMagid, the great Koshnitz HaMagid. Shazachar Estat Tkufa Kasha Nishmasai Haisa Tmuna B'Tzoyin Lavan. He reminisced. The Koshnitz HaMagid would reminisce on the time when he was in the sheep of Lavan, under Yaakov's tutelage. He says, "V'nei dvarim b'lashon kodshay." This is the quote: "Yadu ma'amer Rabbeinu HaKadosh mikoshnitz zatzal, shomer b'zeh lashon." It's known what the holy Magid of Koshnitz used to say, and this is his words: "Voil is mir gewesen, wenn der Zayde Yaakov hat mir ashmos getan mit dem Beitsch," which means that how good it was when the Zayde Yaakov gave me a whip, a whack with his whip. Like a shepherd does with the whip on the sheep. He gave me a whack with his stick or with his whip. How good it was back then. How good it was. This is what the Koshnitz HaMagid said. Okay, that's what he says. So, v'yesh lahosav v'zeh parperes. Now, to add a bit of spice to this, what was Yaakov doing whacking the sheep? The sheep that was the Koshnitz HaMagid's neshama? That sheep? Surely such a tzaddik like that, even in sheep form, but his soul was a pure soul, he needed a whack? How could it be? And he's saying that I love the whack that I got. How good it was. What's he saying? So therefore, maybe we can say like this, and he says, I say this with trembling, I hope what I'm saying is true. This is the chiddush of this Reb Pinchas Friedman. Before Yaakov went to Charan, he made a promise to Hashem. That whatever you give me, I will take a tenth of it as a tithe. We know that Yaakov, he was penniless at the time, he had nothing, and he said, if you keep me alive, if you give me bread to eat and clothes to wear, whatever I receive from you, I will give a tenth, I will give a tithe back. And so we see that what he promised, he fulfilled, that he would take a meiser that's kodesh Hashem, that's holy for Hashem, not just from animals, but even from the people, even from humans. Well, how? It says in the Medrash, Hifresh Shifta Shel Levi Echad Masara, that he separated the tribe of Levi as the 10th that was removed as meiser.
But there were 12.
Why a 10th? I don't know. So says the Medrash. I have to look up and see if it explains that. Don't know. Kolomer shehifresh shevet Levi liyos kodesh l'Hashem ki mehem haKohanim v'Levim ha'ovdim avodas Hashem. Maybe because it's Kohanim and Levim, so it's two. I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, they're all from Levi. I don't know. It says Echad Masara. I'll have to check the Medrash later. But the concept is that Yaakov made a promise he's going to give Meiser, and so he would. Now the Torah tells us that when you take Meiser from Bakar and Soin, from cattle and sheep, anything that passes under the stick, the 10th, will be holy. the Pirush Rashi explains, Tachas at Shav, it wasn't been under the stick, Keshabala Asron Maitzim Bepesach Ze'achazeh, that they all go through single file through a door, all your sheep. Vasiri Makir B'Shevet Savua B'Sikra Liyos Nikar Shud Meiser. And then the 10th one you whack it with a colored stick in order to say that should be the 10th. That every year you do that to your sheep and your cattle to separate the Meiser. So therefore Hashem, who is the cause of everything, he arranged it that all the tzaddikim of the Jewish people of all the generations, they were the Meiser that Yaakov Avinu took from the Tzoin Lavan. So then when they received a whack on the back from Yaakov Avinu, the greatest of the forefathers, that fulfilled that this one's going to be holy. So Yaakov Avinu was separating out the tzaddikim of the future generations. And said, therefore these souls were chosen to be the leaders of the Jewish people till the end of times. Just like Levi was separated as Meiser and were holy for all generations, so too the souls that were separated out, that were the Meiser Behema, they were the leaders of the generations. So he says, Yom Tifla Tavlin. So it'll be sweet to add another spice to this. Ki mitam zeh kara magid mikojnit ziyah es sifrei kodesh b'shem avodas Yisrael. For this reason, the Kodesh Magid wrote a beautiful sefer which he called Avodas Yisrael. The Ramas ki kol masha zacha b'kedushas teirasei, to hint that all the holiness of the Torah that he merited, hu b'schus hashevet shel Yaakov Avinu amad haTorah shenikra b'shem Yisrael. It's because of the stick, the whack they received from Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov, his name is Yisrael. So Avodas Yisrael, that all of his work is Avodas Yisrael. It's the Avodah of Yisrael, of his forefather. And so therefore, so now we understand his words. Voilis mir gewesen, wenn der Seide Yaakov hat mir a Schmass getan mit dem Beitsch. That it was good for me. How good was it when my grandfather Yaakov gave me the whack with the stick? Because that's how I became holy. That's why I received my holiness, because I was one of the 10th, the Meiser Behema. Okay. We learned in the Shir that Yaakov gave a 10th to tithe, and said he gave Levi, the tribe of Levi, as a tithe because they were 1 in 10. So he asked the question that he had 12 sons. So what does 1 in 10 mean? So I look up the original Medrash that mentions this. It says the following: Rabbi Shua de Sichnin b'shem Rabbi Levi Omar. Rabbi Shua of Sichnin said in the name of Rabbi Levi, there was a Kuti, a certain Samaritan, who asked Rabbi Meir, you believe that Yaakov was truthful, right? Because it says Titin emes liYaakov, that Yaakov has truth. So Rabbi Meir said yes. So he said to him, so didn't Yaakov say that didn't Yaakov promise Hashem that everything that you give me, I'll give a 10th to tithe? So Rabbi said yes. So the Kuti, the Samaritan, said back to him, so Hifrish Shifta Shalevi Achad Masara, that he only separated Levi 1/10. Why didn't he separate from the other 2 tribes? Meaning, Levi is one of the 10 tribes, but not one of the 2 tribes. This was at a time when Israel was split into the northern and southern kingdom. The northern kingdom was 10, the lower kingdom was 2 tribes. And so the Kuti, who lived in the northern kingdom, is saying that there were only really 10 tribes, which is the northern kingdom, and that's why Levi was separated, because he's 1 in 10. Otherwise, if there are really 12 tribes, if the lower 2 tribes are a part of it, so then he should have given more than just 1 tribe. So Amaloi, so Reb Meir said to him, were there only 12 tribes? There are actually 14. Because Ephraim and Manasseh, Reuven and Shimon Yoli, that Yaakov said that Ephraim and Manasseh are equal to Reuven and Shimon. So therefore, they should also be included. That Ephraim and Manasseh should also be included. So there's 14 tribes. So the Kuti said, so you've made my question even bigger. Why Levi is 1 in 10, where if there are 14 tribes? So Rameir said back to him, don't you agree that there were 4 mothers of the Jewish people? There was Rachel and Leah and Bilhah and Zilpah. So there are 4 mothers. Yes, I agree. So then there are 4 becheres, the 4 firstborns to their mother. So you have to exclude them because a firstborn is holy, and a holy person doesn't take the place of another holy person. In other words, you can't take Meiser, which is holy, from holy. You have to take from all those who are equal, which were non-firstborns. So out of the 14 sons, including Ephraim and Manasseh, there were 4 firstborns to their mother. And so you have to extract them, so you're left with 10. 1 out of 10 is Levi. So the Kuti said, happy are you and happy is your nation that you're one of them. He agreed with him. And now the commentaries say, well, if you're talking about firstborns, so wasn't Manasseh firstborn as well, out of Ephraim and Manasseh, so that's a fifth. So the commentary says, must be that neither of them were actually firstborns. Maybe there was a girl that was born older than them.